welcome back to my channel. So today's video is on this look right here. I just did a little bit of a dusty pink sort of look with a pop of color as well, which is always fun. And before I start rambling on like I always do, we'll get straight into the video. So if you want to see how I created this look, then keep on watching. Also, just a heads up, if my lips do look a little bit weird, I got them filled again the other day, so I do have a few little bruises here and there, and they are a little bit swollen, hence why I've got a lot of lip balm on at the moment just to keep them nice and hydrated. So I've already done my skincare and I've popped a bit of lip balm on, so now I'm going to start priming my face, and I'm going to grab my Ride or Die primer, which is the Hourglass Mineral Veil. I swear by this primer on myself. It keeps my makeup on all day, keeps it nice and matte. I don't get too shiny and my makeup doesn't sort of slide off my face, which is so good. The trick with this primer is to use the tiniest amount. So many people use way too much and then they really don't like it, but if you use the tiniest amount, I promise it is amazing. If you've got sort of like oily or like combo oily skin, literally a tiny bit goes a very long way. And start smoothing it into my skin. And now for foundation. So I'm going to grab my Too Faced Peach Perfect Foundation in the shade Sand, and I'm going to pop that on with my Tarte Beauty Blender. So I've just popped a small amount on my hand and I'm going to start building it up on my cheeks. Alright, so now that I've built up enough coverage on my face with the foundation, I'm going to start using a bit of concealer. So I'm going to highlight my under eyes and I'm going to highlight the other high points of my face. So to do that, I'm going to grab my Huda Beauty Overachiever Concealer. This is in the shade Nougat. I do like mine super light, but I do like a really bright concealer. So that's why I use something quite light for me. Usually you can go about 1 to 2 shades lighter. So I'm just going to apply a few dots under my eyes. And I'm going to apply a little bit through the high points of my face. So my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and my chin. So I'm going to grab a cream bronzer to do a bit of shading. So I'm going to grab the Benefit Hoola Quickie Stick, and I'm going to apply that around my face. So I'm going to start framing my face. So I'm going to pop some on my forehead, just under my cheekbone, and under the jaw. Same with the other side. And I'm going to blend that in with my Beauty Blender. Now I'm going to take the opposite side of my Beauty Blender and start blending out the bronzer. So now for liquid illuminator. So I'm going to grab my Livia Glow Getter Liquid Illuminizer in the shade Diamond. So glowy, so dewy on the skin. It is amazing. I've mixed it into moisturizers, primers, foundation, or I've just applied it like how I'm going to apply it now, just over the top. But it is so beautiful, even a little bit on its own. I've mixed it into like a body moisturizer as well, so that I get a little bit of glow on my body. It is so nice, and I love how big this bottle is. Like, it's huge, so you definitely know you get a lot out of it. So I'm just going to apply a few drops on the high points of my cheekbones and bring it up in a half moon shape. Down the middle of my forehead, the bridge of my nose, and on my chin. And I'm going to get a super, super tiny amount on the inner corner of my eye and under my brow. A little bit on the tip of my nose for good luck. And I'm just going to blend that in with my Beauty Blender again. And I'm just going to take a small brush to blend out the inner corner. So this one is just the Smjp Luxe Eye Blender number 225. So now that I'm super glowy and dewy, I'm going to set all this in place with a powder. So I'm going to grab my favorite powder at the moment, which is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder in the color Pound Cake. Now, today I am feeling like baking with this, so I've just gotten a decent amount of powder in the lid. Just taking my trusty Beauty Blender again and dipping that in. The Beauty Blender is still damp, so it works really, really well. Tapping off most of the excess, so you've coated your Beauty Blender completely in powder on this edge. Pretty much just baking where we did the concealer. And I'm also just going to pop a little bit on the jaw. So as much as I love to bake, I don't like to leave it on there for too long. So I'm just going to take my Sigma powdered sweep brush, the F06, and I'm going to dust all that powder off. Alright, so now I'm going to do my brows. So I'm going to grab my Benefit Brow Contour Pro. I have been loving this. It is so good. And the two shades that I like to use are the lighter shade and the deeper shade. I do like to give it a mix of both. So I grab the lighter shade, give it a bit of a twist. So I just start defining the bottom of the brow, connecting it to the tail. Then when I get to the tail, I build up a little bit up here. So once I've got the majority of the shape, I will grab the deeper color, this one right here, and I just give a little bit more definition to the brow. So I'm going to fill in the bulk of it with a little bit of a deeper color. And that's how I fill in my brow. Super quick and super easy with this little Contour Pro. So I'm going to do the other side. And now for eyeshadow. So I'm going to grab my Huda Beauty New Nude palette. Oh my god, this palette is amazing. As always, Huda Beauty packaging is thebomb.com. The first color that I'm going to grab is going to be this shade right here, which is Bare. It's just like an off-white, so I'm going to use that to set the whole entire lid. And I'm just going to use my Sigma tapered blending brush, the E40, and pack that all over the lid. And buff it through. So I'm just sort of using this to set the concealer in place. No matter what base I use, I always crease on my lids. So I have to set it in place with a powder. And the next shade in the palette I'm going to grab is going to be the shade Play, which is just a really pale peach. And I'm just going to pop this in my crease. So I'm just super softly buffing this into the crease. So when there's not much product left on the brush, that's when I really lightly buff it towards my temple. That's what's going to give it a really soft, super blended look. And the next shade in the palette that I'm going to grab is going to be this bottom shade here in the corner, which is called Teddy. So I'm going to pop that on with the exact same Smjp 40 brush. Now I'm just going to use this to build up the crease. Pretty much exactly where we put the last color, just not as blown out. Just packing the color on, and when there's not too much left on the brush, super softly blending out. And now I'm going to pick up the shade Tease, which is this one down here, and I'm going to use my MAC 217 brush. And I'm going to start in the very outer corner. I'm softly buffing it just in the crease. And now I'm going to grab the shade Raw on the same 217 brush from MAC and deepening up that color once again. And every now and then just taking that Smjp 40 brush again and just really super delicately, softly touching the edges. I don't know if there's any other word I could use to explain it. And giving it a very teeny tiny flick out. And for a little bit more definition, I'm going to pick up the shade Love Bite, which is a bit of a deeper purple shade. And I'm going to grab that Zoeva Luxe Eye Blender 225 brush that we used before. I did give it a bit of a clean to get that liquid illuminizer off it. And I'm going to really build this in that outer corner and give a bit of definition to the crease. I'm barely touching with my brush, just very slightly V'ing it out a little bit. And to carve out the crease, I'm going to grab my Huda Beauty Concealer again, and I'm going to use my MAC 195 brush. And I'm going to set that in place straight away with that Bare shade again. And the brush that I'm using is the MAC 239S. I'm just packing that colour on. And I'm going to do the same with the other side. And now I'm going to pick up that Love Bite shade again on that same Zoeva brush. And I'm going to softly blend the concealer with the end of the eye by patting over the top. I'm going to build up that outer corner and buff out. And picking up that Zoeva brush again with the same colour, making sure it's packed on. And now for the liner. So I'm going to grab my Fenty Fly liner. This is just the black, and I'm going to start doing my wing. So I'm just tight lining with my Stila smudge stick in black. And I'm going to start smoking out the bottom lash line. So I'm going to grab that raw shade again, and this is the MAC 217S brush, so it's a little bit more flat than the normal 217. And I'm just going to pick up that Love Bite shade again, my Sigma short shader brush. This is just a really good brush to get right into the lower lashes and smudge it out. And for a bit of added dramatic effect, I'm going to put the Urban Decay Glide On Eye Pencil in Chaos in my waterline. And for mascara, I'm just going to use my IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. And for false lashes, I'm going to grab my House of Lashes Iconics. So I've just popped the eyelashes on, and now I'm just going to add a little bit of powder, bronzer, blush, and highlight. So for bronzer, I'm going to grab my Anastasia Beverly Hills powder bronzer in the shade Saddle, and I'm just going to use my Morphe E5 brush. And for blush, I'm just going to grab my Benefit California brush, and I'm going to pop that on with a Sigma Duo Fiber Powder Blush Brush. And just for a little bit extra highlight, I'm going to grab my Huda Beauty 3D Highlighting Palette in the Pink Sands edition. And I'm just going to grab a tiny bit of this bottom golden shade here and mix it with Santorini. And I'm just going to use my Morphe E61 brush. And for lipstick, I'm going to grab the Urban Decay Vice lipstick in Stark Naked. And over the top of that lipstick, I'm going to grab my Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fenty Glow. This is the prettiest lip gloss. And last but not least, I'm just going to grab my MAC Fix Plus and set it all in place. Alright, so that's the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and I hope you liked the look I created. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that notifications bell right next to it so you don't miss out on any future videos. And give this video a thumbs up if you liked it as well. It really does help a lot. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I always appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah!